Hey Siri, tell me what you know about the Epstein files.
Here's some news about Epstein files.
I said, tell you, she don't listen. I said, tell me what you know. She just reads me some information. But I don't want you to read me some information. I want you to tell me what you know. Like I said. God damn. Siri, why you gotta be a fucking knucklehead? Hey Siri, you use Chat GPT to tell me about Epstein files.
The Epstein files are over 6 million pages of documents, images, and videos detailing the criminal activities of financier Jeffrey Epstein and his associates. In November 2025, the Epstein Files Transparency Act mandated the release of these files, leading to partial disclosures in December 2025 and January 2026, which included flight logs, court documents, and photographs. However, many documents were heavily redacted to protect victims' identities, and some files were missing or incomplete, prompting criticism from lawmakers and advocacy groups.
Hey Siri, use Chat GPT to tell me who is Jeffrey Epstein. Damn, she won't even pull up nothing.
Here's an answer from ChatGPT.
Jeffrey Epstein was an American financier and a convicted sex offender. He was known for his connections to many wealthy and influential figures and for running a network that exploited and trafficked underage girls. Epstein first faced charges in 2006, accepted a controversial plea deal in 2008, and was arrested again for sex trafficking in 2019. He died in jail August 2019 while awaiting trial. That's the part I always thought was really fishy. I wonder who got dude whacked. Who got? You think it was Trump? You think it had been Trump? Trump them? I wonder who got dude whacked. Somebody got him whacked in jail. I'm done, Siri. Siri, I'm done.
Okay.
I feel like somebody got dude whacked in jail. I don't know if it was Trump or who, but he didn't commit whoever they. I think they said he committed suicide. That's some bullshit. Well, I don't know. White people do be committing suicide though, but I don't know. I feel like it was just too coincidental. I feel like somebody whacked dude. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was somebody on Trump team or somebody else that was involved in this paperwork. You know who I didn't hear, who I ain't heard about, ain't been on that motherfucker that we ain't heard about yet, that we probably would have heard about if they was on there? Diddy. Diddy ain't on that bitch. Cause we would have already heard about it. They would already been saying, oh, Diddy was on there too. Hey, what's happening, y'all? Dang, y'all be having these long ass names. You can't really say the name. What's up, Expialidocious? 38366. I mean 3833. And what up, Expialidocious number 2? I don't know, man. I feel like somebody had dude whacked. And why is it? Why I don't? Okay, so it always be underage uh, charges put on people and stuff. Why are they making this out to be like some secret? Why was the files ever secret in the first place? Why was it ever a secret like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why was this particular case so secretive and shit? That's the part I don't understand. Put that shit out there. Let people see what the fuck these weirdos had going on. You can just call me Crash. Oh, what's happening, Crash? Would you be crashing? why you name yourself Crash? Would you be crashing out? I guess not, because you're on here chat. You're on here. Well, you could be in jail right now, typing on the phone. So I guess you could have had crashed out and still be on here typing. Crash. That's kind of a tight rap name though. Crash. But look, if your rap name Crash, eventually you gotta crash out. You always gotta eventually do whatever you named or whatever you putting out there to the world. As far as the rap game is concerned, you always gotta do whatever. Like C Murder, for example. C Murder, he had whether he did what they say he did or not, they would have had to put a murder on him at some point. You know what I'm saying? At some point in his career, they would have had to put a murder on him. That was the only way it made sense. Epstein, I don't know what's going on with all this freaky Hollywood shit, man. You never know with all this stuff, man. They trying to put Jay-Z name in it. They trying to put Beyonce name in it. They trying to put a lot of different names in it. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Jay-Z, Jay-Z had been fucking with the younger bros, though. But I don't know if we could just put it on him that he was in some type of, child ring, trafficking ring. And I don't know if we can put that on him, though. He might have had Aaliyah was young, but that don't mean that he was trafficking, you know what I'm saying, trafficking kids and shit. I'm not putting it past him either though. I'm not giving nobody the innocent, in this particular situation, it's damn near guilty to prove innocent for sure. It ain't really innocent to prove guilty. If your name on that list, on that paperwork, you gotta prove your innocence. You already guilty. That's how everybody gonna look at it. That's how the world gonna look at it. Whether you innocent or not. The fact that your name is in that paperwork or on them pictures or whatever the fuck information they got. Your name is on there, you gonna look guilty to the world. That's just how shit work. This internet shit and stuff. That's how it work. This how it work with the internet. You know how they say, where there's smoke, there's fire? With the internet, if it's smoke, you did it. Period. With the internet, if there's smoke, you did it. Whatever it is, it don't even matter. If it's smoke behind it, you did it. I don't know, man. We never know what's going on. They gave R. Kelly like 1,000,000 years and shit. And R. Kelly, I think they did a get back sentencing on R. Kelly. They was trying to get R. Kelly for what he did to the girl he peed on the girl and all that. They still wanted, he got off on that because I think they paid the girl off or something. And I think she just did an interview on one of the YouTube channels. The girl that Kelly tinkled on or whatever. I'm saying tinkle because I don't know if I could say, I don't know if the other word is allowed on her or whatever. But the girl that he did that to, I don't know if that's her or somebody playing a joke or it's a bullshit ass video or nothing, but I think I seen some shit where she on here doing an interview. That'd probably be a big ass interview if that was a real thing. But I think they was trying to get R. Kelly for that. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't even matter what he did on this one, on these new charges. I don't even think that shit even mattered. They already had their mind set on doing him dirty because of what he did to the young girl on the video. That's what I think happened with him. Just like they did O.J. Simpson. Same thing. He beat the murder, which everybody think he did. I don't know if I believe that he did that though. I never really believed that O.J. did it. You know what I'm saying? But after he beat that murder, they got him on some other shit. he he ran in he ran into some type of facility, him and his goons and shit. And they took he took his own trophies back. They gave O.J. Simpson time for taking his own trophies back. Hey, that's wild, huh? He took his own trophies back, and they gave him some time for it. But I think he went in there like on some aggressive shit though. He had his goons with him. I think that's probably why they got at him. If he had went in there by himself and just kind of sternly asked for his shit back, and maybe just walked out with it, he might have just got a theft charge or something. He might not have got, they might not have been able to hang him, because it probably would have been a misdemeanor. But he went in there with his goon squad, goon up. He went in there with the goon squad, and he started shaking the place up and shit. So of course they were gonna get you, and they already wanted you anyway. That's like me. I'm kind of not now. The shit done died down, but when I was in the streets, I beat a big ass charge. I was facing a whole bunch of time. I beat that charge, and after I beat that charge, though, they was on my ass. The laws was on my ass. They were mad I beat the charge. They be want to get your ass. They be knowing you, cause they be watching you. So they be knowing what you up to and shit. But then you go to court and you beat it, and they know what you up to, they be mad in the bitch. They gonna try to do you in. As far as this Epstein shit, who knows, man? We never know what's going on in all that freaky Hollywood stuff and all that. All that Hollywood stuff, the music industry, all this stuff is all freaky. It's all weird and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in the industry. I was fucking around with a lot of them people and stuff. I know a lot of industry people and all that. But I kind of started straying away from it for two reasons. One, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna sit there and lie. This is a confession. I was just doing a whole bunch of drugs and shit. So I was kind of like off the music like that. I wasn't creating no music. I was just being a gangster and doing drugs. That's all I was doing. I had took the music off of the priority. Now the priority was be a gangster or whatever you want to call it, drug dealer or whatever you want to name it. I had took my priorities off of the music and put it more into the streets. That's where I fucked up at. If I had just kept my priority on the music, I'd be the biggest Texas nigga. These Texas niggas can't fuck with me. I'd be the biggest. Only person in Texas I see that even be over me as far as the rap shit would be Scarface. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Scarface, Zero might take a swing at it. But that's it. Other than that, if I would have had the label behind me and I had got my little California deal like I was supposed to get and all that, I don't know what company. It might have been QCP. I don't know what. I don't even know if they was around then. But it was a California label that was trying to sign me. If I had got that deal, got that money behind me and didn't go to jail and all that, and didn't get head first in the streets, I was on the run. And from probation, because I had got 10 years probation for aggravated assault. And I had just quit reporting and everything. I just said, fuck that shit. And I had moved to Houston. And I was on the run. And it was a music family down there I was fucking with. I was living with them and everything. And they, we were supposed to be going to Cali to go get a deal from some I don't know what the deal was entitled. I don't really know what it was about. But it wasn't just me. It was me, a couple more artists and shit. Some artists that y'all know and love. It was me and them. And we were supposed to be going to Cali. I don't want to name drop because I think I heard somebody say when you name drop, it sound weak. So I don't want to name drop, but this story that I'm telling right now, these are all famous people that I'm talking about. So I was out there on the run. I was with a famous family, a famous music family. People that know me know who I'm talking about. And I was basically their shooter. I don't know if I ever told this story. I'll tell this story. Just go get it out there. I was their shooter basically. I was on the run. I was the shooter for a famous R&B group. I ain't gonna name drop. Famous R&B group. And I was a rapper too though. I was rapping too though. So I was trying to get me a deal. We was under the same management. But I was the shooter just by default, I guess. I didn't even know I was a shooter at first. You know what I'm saying? But my manager, everywhere we went, my manager handed me this bag, right? He'll hand me the bag. He said, here, hold it. So I would just hold it. I wouldn't even look in it. I didn't know what he had in there. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, hold this. So one day, I'm with the management. I ain't gonna name drop him either though. Shout out to him. You know who he is. We was in Houston. One day we was in Houston. And we was at the strip club. And he had some plex. He was the DJ at the strip club. I might be telling too much. And he had some plex with it was some strippers, but they had niggas and stuff. They niggas wasn't with them, but they had called their niggas to come up there or some shit like that. It was some shit like that. So he told me, go get the bag. Go get the bag and stand here down here by the door. And if I call you up here, come up here with the bag. He never told me what the bag was in the bag. So I did that. I got the bag. I stood by the bottom of the stairs. Where the strippers changed at was upstairs. They had to go upstairs to the changing room. He wanted me to stand at the bottom of the stairs with the bag. I ain't even know the gun was in the bag at this given time. But I did this when I found out. So I'm standing at the bottom of the stairs. I heard him up there going, he yelling at one of the strippers. Da, 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 da. Loud and aggressive. Hard. I think she stole some money or something. She did something she wasn't supposed to be doing. So he up there going bad. This, that, then, third. He told me not to let nobody up there. So I said, I got curious. I said, man, what's in this bag? That's when I started thinking it was a gun in there. Because I was like, okay, why you keep giving me this bag and shit? And I put two and two together. I was like, oh, okay, he want me to be the shooter. He didn't even tell me I was the shooter. That's what I'm saying. I was just the shooter by default. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, okay, I'm on the run. You know what I'm saying? He hand me everywhere we go. He hand me the bag with the gun in it. Like I'm talking about everywhere we went. He'll be like, here, hold this bag right here. And he never told me what was in it. He be like, hold this bag. So I hold the bag. And cause I was on the run. I was living with them. And I'm not no do-boy or nothing. I'm a soldier. And he knew that. You know what I'm saying? He knew I was a soldier. He knew I was on the run. So he just automatically handed me the strap and shit. Which is probably a good decision, but I feel like he probably should have told me what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? But that's when I found out at the bottom of the stairs down. I just got curious and I just opened the bag and went in that bit. And it was a 9 in that hoe. That's when I was like, oh, okay. He want me to be the shooter. I don't know why he ain't just say that. I would have did it. I was on the run. I ain't give a fuck. I was in full street, whatever you want to call it, street nigga, gangster, whatever you want to name it. I was in full of that. So I didn't really give a fuck. He would have told me. I would have did the position better. I don't know. I'm trying to think why he didn't tell. He probably thought. I don't know what he thought. He didn't know me that well either though. Maybe he didn't want me to have a strap and he didn't have it or something. I don't know what the fuck. I never knew why he never told me that though. But I reached in the bag and I found the strap. And I was like, oh, okay. He always handed me the strap. That's when I came to fruition. And I was like, oh, okay, that's why everywhere we go, he hand me the bag and shit. He think I'm the shooter because I'm on the run and all that, and I'm a soldier and all that. So he just automatically put me in the position of the shooter. I'm like, damn, why he ain't tell me that though? But that's when I found that out. And We didn't get into it with no niggas that night. He just yelled at the bro. I came up there. I went upstairs. I went. He told me to come. He said, "Come up here." I think I'm finna have to shoot somebody or something. You know what I'm saying? So I go up there with the strap, and ain't nothing though. They in there laughing. When I come up there, the girls laughing and shit. He done started making them laugh and shit. So they done worked out whatever they need to work out, and we finna go. And that's when I found out I was the shooter that night. I was like, oh, okay. That's when I officially found out. Okay, I'm the shooter. That's why he always handed me the bag with the gun in it. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we went, every studio, everywhere we went, he'll hand me the bag with the gun in it. That's my dog though. Shout out to him. I ain't gonna name drop. Shout out to them, man. They really showed me a lot of love when I was down there in Houston on the run. It was a famous R&B family. You know what I'm saying? Um, it was an experience. And we was shit. All we did was fucking play video games, smoke, and go to the studio. That's all we did. And then at night, sometimes we'll fall into one of the clubs or something. But we never went to a club just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Like we went to the club, we was going up to that bitch to promote, or we was linking up with some other artists or some shit like that. We wasn't just going up there just to hang out. I went to the club just to hang out, but I'm saying when we went as a group, we didn't go to just hang out and shit. It was some type of somebody had a show or something. It was something going on, some business shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was dealing with them for a few months, probably about 4 months or something like that. And then I was supposed to go to Cali because they had worked out some kind of deal with a label in Cali. So I was like, bet. I'm gonna go. My whole plan was, cause I'm on the run from my papers. I had just quit report. I was on papers. I had just quit reporting and everything. Cause my plan was to go to Cali, get the deal, and when I get the deal, I'll get a bonus, a signing bonus, and I'll just use that to fix my on the run shit. You know what I'm saying? Give me a lawyer, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Fix it. That was my plan, to get a deal and fix my on the run status. And then until I fixed it, I was just gonna be on the run shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was gonna go. I was in Houston. It was a hell of an experience though. I hung out with a lot of famous folks and shit, and just kind of seen how they be rocking out and shit. I was in the studio with a lot of lot of producers, like, oh no, not producers, but the engineers. I was in the studio with a lot of different engineers and stuff. So that's when I learned a lot about mixing songs, mastering songs. I learned a lot about the actual engineering part of the shit. Was when I was on the run in Houston that time, because they would always just take me to the studio too half the time, and just drop me off at the studio and shit. And what was so cool about that was a lot of them studios they were dropping me off at was studios that other famous artists use too, like Scarface. And I'm saying Scarface, but I'm not really name dropping. I never met Scarface. I'm just saying he was one of the artists that these engineers were mastering his shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to hear some of his shit before it even came out. That was cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different artists, a lot of different Houston artists. I heard a lot of their music before they even dropped it, because I was in the studio while the dude was mastering it. You know what I'm saying? I was in there and shit. So that was cool as shit. You know what I'm saying? Being able to experience that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but no, I was in the industry too. I was in that bitch right before. I was in there right before the whole digital like we was still getting money off selling CD. We was still printing. I was in the printing your own CD wave, but I was like popular with it though. I had like a little local hit song, you know, so people was actually buying my little CD and shit. So I fucking was doing that. You know what I'm saying? I was in that little wave. I didn't when it started turning digital and then everybody started making a whole bunch of money off of it and all this type of shit. By then, I had already went super gangster. I went, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I had went super gangster. I'm trying to make $1 million out the streets. This, that, and the third, and the music is second fiddle. I'm gonna get the money out the streets now. I don't even want a deal. You know what I'm saying? I was on that. I'm gonna get the money out the streets, fuck a deal. That was a horrible idea though. That's the worst possible decision I could have ever made. You know, cause even today I kind of regret doing that. I wish I would have just stayed focused on the music. But I was just so wrapped up in the whole street life and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that it's exciting, but I was like paying my bills with the shit. So it's almost like you're at a job that you hate and you want to quit, but you can't quit because that's how you pay your rent and shit. That's how the streets have became with me. It had became like a nuisance. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't let it. I gotta keep doing it. That's how I'm paying the rent. You know what I'm saying? Shit. That's how it became to me. It just became a thing to where I felt like I had to do it. You know, because that's how I paid the rent. That's how I paid the car notes. That's how I paid the insurance. That's how I paid child support. That's how I paid every goddamn thing. So I was looking at it more like that. You know, I can't stop. I gotta go harder with this shit because this is how I'm paying every goddamn thing. The music wasn't paying for nothing. The rapping and all that wasn't paying for. I didn't even make no money off rap until I was on the run in Houston with them. They the first ones that got me paid for rapping. Shout out to them. They were the first ones that got me paid for rapping. I made my first payoff. I made was it I think $900. I made $900 to do a feature. I made $900 to do a feature. That was my first time ever getting paid for rap. I was like, ooh, I just got paid off this hoe. And back then, $900 right now ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't even pay rent with $900 now. But back then, with this little era, what I'm talking about, you could pay rent with $900. You know what I'm saying? Back then you could get like a 2-bedroom for like $900. You know what I'm saying? So that was more like now that'd be like me doing a feature now and getting 2,100. That's 900 then is about 2,100 now. So that's a pretty good feature. You get paid $2,000 to do a feature right now. That ain't no super famous money or nothing, but I mean that's some decent little pay. You know, you can do that at 10 times and make you 20 bands. So that's what I was doing. I was on the run in Houston doing features. That's what I said in that song when I said I was in Houston doing features. That's what I'm talking about. I was really doing that. I was in Houston doing features. The first one I got paid was $900. And then I had a couple more too. I think I only got paid for one because I think I got arrested before I could really do the rest of them that I had set up and stuff. Cause I was supposed to be getting we were supposed to be going to Cali to get a deal, but I decided to come back to Dallas because I was coming back out here to get my girl. I had a girlfriend out here. Her and she had a sister. I was finna come get both of them. They wanted to travel with us to go to Cali and all that. You know, they just wanted to go along for the ride. So I was finna come back here and get them. And I fuck around, got pulled over and went to jail and shit. I was like, damn, this is a bitch. I went to jail like a hoe. I was just finna go to Cali and give me a deal, bitch ass niggas. And this was back in the day when the deal, like, it wasn't even that many rappers and shit. Like, You can count on two hands how many like famous rappers really just it was a whole different game back then. Like if you got a deal back then, it was special. Now a deal ain't shit. If you shit now, I mean I ain't gonna say that. Now it's more of a numbers game. It's just a different game now. That's all. It's more of a numbers game. Like they not just gonna find some talent. Back then they'll just find some talent somewhere and just put them on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how Chris Cross, matter of fact, y'all probably if y'all ain't at least 45 something like that, you ain't gonna even probably even heard of Chris Cross. Chris Cross, Jermaine Dupri was just walking around the mall. He was just walking around the mall. And he ran into Chris Cross and just put them on. They was hard too. Matter of fact, Chris Cross was the first concert that I ever went to. That was the first. Was it the first? Let me think if I went to a concert before that. No, that was the first. Chris Cross was the first concert that I ever went to. It was in Fort Worth at the junior college right there on 20 and what street is that? The junior college right there, right? The junior college next to the Feds right there. Chris Cross did a concert right there. That was the first concert I ever went to. Man, that bitch was live. That Chris Cross concert was live in the phone. It was in Forest Hill right there. Right there at that junior college. Man, it was live. Jermaine Dupri and them was there. The Brat was there. You name all the what's Jermaine Dupri and them label? I forgot the name of his label. Jermaine Dupri, I can't remember the name of his shit. But everybody that was fucking with their label was there. It was live. That kind of made me fall in love with doing music. When I went to that concert right there too, I was like, damn, this shit live. I want to do what they doing. You know what I'm saying? That shit was live in the bitch. There was a whole bunch of people out there. It was crunk. You know what I'm saying? Just the energy of it was just live. It was a Chris Cross concert. Chris Cross. Hey Siri. Hold up. Hey Siri. What happened to Chris Cross?
Here's an answer from Wikipedia.
Chris Cross died? I didn't know. I didn't know Chris Cross said. Hold up, fool. Nah, hold up. Hey Siri. You use ChatGPT to tell me about what happened with Chris Cross.
Here's an answer from ChatGPT.
What? He died? I didn't know that. Chris Cross was an American hip-hop duo from Atlanta, Georgia, consisting of Chris Mac Daddy Kelly and Chris Daddy Mac Smith, discovered by Jermaine Dupri in 1990. Damn, that's a long time ago. I was in ninth grade in 1990, I want to say. I think I was in the 8th or 9th grade. They gained fame with their 1992 debut album, Totally Crossed Out, featuring the hit single Jump, 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 Chris Cross and Make. Man, that shit was live. Y'all don't even know me. If you wasn't around that little area, you don't even know nothing about no music, really. To be honest with you. That jump, jump, Chris Cross and Make it, jump, jump, Daddy Mac and Make it, jump, jump. That beat was live. Crossed Out featuring his single Jump, which topped the Billboard 100 for 8 weeks. The duo was known for wearing their clothes backwards, a fashion trend they popularized. After releasing 2 or more albums. Why somebody calling me, bro? Don't call me, bro. After releasing 2 or more albums, they disbanded in the late 1990s. In 2013, Chris Kelly was found dead from a drug overdose at 34. I didn't know he died so young. I didn't even know. So that means one of them is still alive. They took the shit to a whole new level. Straight up. I remember that concert. It was in the phone. It was live. Me and my partner. How I get up there? I want to say I rode with my partner, but I don't even know we was old enough to drive yet. Matter of fact, I think my partner mama dropped us off. I don't even think we was old enough to drive yet. Nope. Not in 1990. I think he said 1990. I wasn't even old enough to drive in 1990. So, yeah, I think if I remember correctly, my partner T-Zone dropped us off up there at the concert. It was live, man. I remember that shit. It was super live. There was a bunch of people. Everybody was jumping. They were doing the jump, jump. Chris trying to make it. Jump, jump. The whole crowd was jumping. Jump, jump. And that shit was live, nigga. Chris Cross make it. Jump, jump. The whole crowd was jumping, fool. Just imagine probably 3,000-4,000 people. Probably more than that. I'm just throwing numbers out there. Everybody just jump, jump. Jump, jump. The whole crowd, that shit was live. Yeah, that shit was live. That was like I want to say that was my first. I had went to a Spice One concert though. I don't know if I went to Spice One concert. Let me see, when was Spice One out? Hey Siri, what year did Spice One drop 187 Proof?
Here's an answer from Songtell.com.
1993. So that concert was after Crisscross now. So Crisscross now was my first concert. And then Spice One, I went to the Spice One concert. That was my second concert I ever went to. And at the Spice One concert, Siri, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
At the Spice One concert, that was my first time smoking weed. Straight up. I was at a Spice One concert. It was at this club called Dimensions in Arlington. Well, I don't know if that's Arlington or Grand Prairie right there. But it's like right on the border of Arlington and Grand Prairie. That's where the club was at. And it used to be a mall right there called 303 Mall. It's a college or something now. You know what I'm saying? It used to be a mall right there, but behind the mall was a club called Club Dimensions. And that's where I went to the Spice One concert. And I got on stage and everything. We was hanging out with Spice One them because the dudes that I had went to the concert with, they knew them and all that. They knew Spice One them and all that. So we was hanging out with them. And they passed the weed. And I didn't want to look like no sucker. I ain't even smoke weed. Not yet. But I ain't want to look like no sucker or like I wasn't, part of the cipher or whatever. I didn't want to look like the odd man out and shit. You know what I'm saying? So they passing the blunt and shit. And the blunt come around to me. I hit that hoe. Shit, I was like, let me hit that hoe. That was my first time smoking some weed. I was at a Spice One concert. It wasn't even no, I don't even want to call it a concert really. Because it was at a club and it was a small club. It wasn't even like no real big event. It wasn't no whole bunch of people there. It wasn't, it wasn't like that. It was almost like a listening party type vibe. It wasn't even like overly crowded, everybody shoulder to shoulder. It wasn't on that type of energy. Everybody was just sitting at their table, different groups of people sitting at different tables. Everybody had ordering drinks and stuff. It was like that. It wasn't even like no super crowded, everybody yelling and all. It wasn't like that. It was more like a gangster party or something. You know what I'm saying? And I was sitting at the table with, it was a group called Chocolate City. That's who knew them. They was from New York or something. They was some New York cats or something. I think they were from New York. One of them was named CD. One of them named was Chocolate. I think his name Chocolate. No, one of them named CD. And one of them, I can't remember the other nigga name. Was it Chocolate? But the name of their group was Chocolate City. And they was hard in the bitch though. But they were from like New York or something. But they knew a bunch of people in the industry and a bunch of shit. They was fucking around in the industry already. You know what I'm saying? So they knew Spice One. They knew they management. They knew that somebody in the Spice One side of the shit. So that's how we end up getting. That's how I ended up getting on stage and all that. They opened up for Spice One. So that was the first time I had smoked weed and shit at a Spice One concert. But after that, I was hooked. You know what I'm saying? And then it was just the energy of the whole moment. It was just live in a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Spice One right here. That was like one of my favorite rappers and shit at the time. When this happened, Spice One was like one of my favorite rappers and shit. Like I had this shit in the deck. See, we had tape decks back then. So I had Spice One in the deck. It wasn't even like I'm just going to some random listening party. This was an actual rapper that I was listening to all the time, riding around listening to and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that shit was live. You know what I'm saying? Being able to experience that and the dodo all in one, one night and shit. That shit was live in a bitch. Shout out to Chocolate City for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to them. They was cold too with the rap shit. They was cold. Chocolate City was cold. They was real. They was cold with the rap shit. I don't know if they was from New York. They was from somewhere else though. They wasn't from Texas. But they was like, you know how people be from other places too and they just go back and forth? They was like that. They was from somewhere else too though. You know what I'm saying? But it showed. Like they whole little demeanor and they whole little, the way they rapped and everything, it showed that they was like an up north type person. You know, or East Coast, like an East Coast type energy. But they the ones told, they was trying to get me to rap too. Because back then, I used to rap other niggas' songs. So I'd be at work rapping another nigga song. Just rapping the whole song. NWA, Eazy-E, Spice One, whoever. Slick Rick. I'm just rapping the whole song. So they told me, they was like, nigga, you can rap. They was like, you need to rap how you rapping, but put your own words. Stop rapping the other niggas' songs. You know what I'm saying? They was telling me to start, writing your own. Just start writing your own rhymes, having your own shit to say. Cause they was digging the way to my inflection of my voice or something, something along them lines, the way I delivered the shit. You know what I'm saying? So they would always tell me, write your own rhymes and shit. Don't rap other niggas shit all the time. Write you some shit. So I started doing it. That's when I started really getting into the whole rapping shit super tough. Was fucking with Chocolate City now. You know what I'm saying? CD. And I want to say, damn, what was the other big homie name? We all worked at Kroger's together. That's how I met them. We all worked at Kroger's and shit. I used to work at Kroger's on Arkansas. That was one of my first jobs and shit right there. Arkansas and 360. I used to work at that Kroger's when I was a kid. We was all working there. Me, Chocolate City, them. They was doing shows and shit though. They was like somebody. Like they was already like moving and grooving in the music industry already. They was a somebody already. Like in they town where they was from and shit, they was already somebody. Had already been doing shows, all type of shit. Like they was already moved like full speed ahead with the shit. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to get me to where they was at with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, They had connections and all kind of shit. It was Arlington had a pretty big local rap scene back in the game. Like for here's something that a lot of y'all probably don't even know about Arlington. The name Agtown came. Let me tell you who. That's my partner. He made that up. A rapper. His name Josh. His rap name was Jalo. He came out with a song. It's the song with Agtown, Funky Town, some Pleasant Grove. I forgot the song went, but it was like a local hit. It was playing on the radio and everything. But that was the homie that came up with the whole Agtown thing. We was Agtown before at Fort Worth, Agland and all that. I swear they got that from us. Because we was Agtown way too long time ago. But the homie came up with that. He made a song about it. You know what I'm saying? Agtown, Funky Town, B-Town, the shit was live. It was on the radio and everything. Shout out to the homie Josh. Jalo. You know what I'm saying? It was some more rappers too. It was a bunch of rappers. We had a big music scene back in the game. You know what I'm saying? It was like 3-4 producers though, out of the whole town that did everybody's shit. You fuck with one of them, but back in the game it was like 4 producers in the town. And you fuck with one of them. It was Boss Dog and them, Peanut. You either was gonna fuck with Boss Dog and them, Peanut, it was some more niggas too. It's All Gravy now. They went to the feds, but they had studio and shit. Them, Peanut, Boss Dog. It was like 4. It was another one I can't think of them though. It was another one. But it was like 4 groups of niggas, should I say, on different sides of towns. And if you was doing music back then, you knew one of them. You was fucking with one of them. Daji. That's the other. He was a producer. Daji made the beats. Peanut, I think Peanut was making beats. But it wasn't like now how it's all saturated. It's a bunch of people everywhere doing stuff. Back in the game, it was like 4 engineers. I think like 3 of them made beats. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's back when they was making beats for real. Like they ain't had no, you know, like now you can just type up some shit and the AI make the beat for you. It ain't like that. Wasn't like that then. They had to actually play different piano tunes and do different shit on there, like for real, to make the beat. You know, stay on the right tempo with the bars. Keep the note. You know, all this different type of shit they had to do. That's why the music probably seemed like it was more rich back then too, because it was handmade. Like, you know, if you make something handmade, it seems like it's more sturdy and it just means it's like it's worth more or something. That's kind of like how the music was. It wasn't so digital. It was more made from scratch type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like people used to make their little drum sounds and shit, beating on some shit, might record it and that'd be a drum sound type of shit. Might bend the wave a little bit, make it into you know, shit like that. But I forgot where I was at with it. Cause I'm over watching these people walking around shit. I'm watching their bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck motherfuckers be up to. But it made me lose track of my thought right there. What was I talking about? Fucking damn. I really lost track of thought like that quick like that. I be thinking I'm crazy sometimes. It might be though. It's for real though. I ain't even bullshitting though. Like I might be a little off my rocker a little bit. And then I did a bunch of drugs and shit. I don't be want to talk about that on here because even though my kids probably know that already, probably somebody else done told them or something, but I don't want that. I don't, you know. I wasn't no drug. Well, yeah, I kind of was a drug addict, but I wasn't no broke, poor, like down and out. I would say when I was on drugs, that's when I was making the most money. I ain't never to this day. I ain't never made no money like I was making when I was doing all the drugs and shit. That's the most money I ever made in my life. And that little, well, no, let me see. Yeah, my first aid company didn't do even close to what my street businesses did. Not even close. It ain't even a close. When I think back on it, it ain't even a close race. So it's like, and I was on all kind of different narcotics. X pills, Christina Aguilera. That's about it though. X pills, Christina Aguilera. But I think that took an effect on my brain. I think I probably got fried. Because I do got a dope fiend twitch. You know how the dope fiends be twitching and shit every now and then? They be talking and they just move or something. I be doing shit like that. Straight up. I try to make it look like I ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I be noticing that sometimes I got like a dope fiend twitch and shit. All of that different shit. And my memory and all that come from me just being fried all the goddamn time. When I was in the street, I was doing hard drugs and shit. I was doing wet. I had a little time frame where I was on wet. That's fucking embalming fluid. That had to fry some shit. I had a wet attack. I didn't just fucking do the wet. I did like pure. You wasn't even supposed to do that shit pure. Me and my homeboy and then we did it pure. It wasn't even cut with nothing. You know what I'm saying? We damn near died that day though. We did that. We did that one day. We did some pure wet. It wasn't cut with nothing. Me and one of my homeboys, he dead now. Rest in peace to him. We ain't gonna say his name. But me and him one day, he brought me some pure. I was at the house stressing or something. He came to my house knocking on the door. Hey nigga, you wanna hit this shit? I was like, what? He said, I got some wet. I was like, all right, bet. He said, but it's pure. It ain't cut with nothing. We hit that shit. Nigga, me and this nigga almost died. Straight up, we almost died that day. Straight up, me and him, we both got stuck. We was stuck. That was a crazy motherfucking day. Man, that was crazy. I thought I was gonna die. I straight up thought I had a few times I thought I was gonna die on them drugs and shit. I fucking was stuck on the wet, stuck. I couldn't move, I couldn't see nothing, I could talk, but apparently I wasn't saying what I thought I was saying. Man, look, even just right now, just even talking about it is kind of making me feel away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of taking me back to that moment a little bit. That shit was wild. God damn, that was wild. After that day, I never did no more motherfucking wet a day in my motherfucking, even now, if I just smell, if somebody come around, they do that shit, I can smell it. I'm talking about I can smell them coming. Cause it's like a toxin to me or something now. Like even just the smell of it, I started feeling away. Like, oh, hell no, I gotta get the fuck from around here. But, nah, man, I fucking got stuck on that shit. And it was weird. I'm finna tell you what happened. I fucking couldn't move. I'm sitting in my truck. I'm just sitting in the truck. I think I was in the passenger seat. I want to say I was in the passenger seat. I had let the little homie drive and shit. My other homeboy, rest in peace to him, he dead too. He was driving though. I was sitting in the passenger seat. And I was just stuck, just sitting there. I couldn't even move. And I was leaning forward, like almost with my head on the dashboard almost. And I was just sitting there. I couldn't move. I couldn't see anything. It felt like I was in like a box, like inside of some type of box. And the box just kept changing colors and shit. But I couldn't leave outside of the box. I couldn't move. I couldn't do nothing. I was stuck. I was literally stuck in one position. I could not move. I could hear everybody around me talking and shit, trying to ask me what's wrong, don't die. They thought I was gonna die too. They was like, stay away, don't die. Just stay away. You know what I'm saying? I was just stuck, just sitting there. I could hear them talking. I could talk back, but they were saying that I wasn't talking. So I'm thinking that, or they were saying I was saying some other shit that didn't even know I said. So I think all the shit that I was thinking that I was saying, I was just saying it in my head. I wasn't actually saying it out loud like I thought I was. You know what I'm saying? So I'm right here stuck, and I'm saying all this shit to them. I think I'm saying all this shit to them, but I'm not. I'm just saying it to myself, probably in my head. But I'm stuck and I'm fried. So in my mind, I'm saying this shit out loud. Ain't nobody answering me. I'm finna die. Y'all gonna let me die here like this? I can't believe y'all finna let me die. I'm talking about all this type of shit. I can't believe y'all finna let me die like this. I know y'all hear me. I'm saying all this type of shit. And I'm just stuck right here like this. I'm gonna die. Y'all gonna let me die. I can't believe this. I'm tripping. Stuck. And I wasn't saying any of that shit. All that shit I think I'm saying is in my head. My heart is beating super slow. It's like, and I can hear it loud. It's like, like that. I thought I was gonna die. I was like, man, I'm finna die. I'm sorry I gotta do these bitch ass drugs. I was like, this how I'm finna go out and shit on some drugs and shit. I was kind of mad on the cool. But I was like, really? Fuck, I ain't never been that fucked up. Ever. I ain't never drunk that much alcohol that made me that disoriented. Ain't nothing ever made me that disoriented. Then that day that I did the pure monkey piss. Pure sherm. What? Nah, nigga, I recommend don't ever do that shit. Fuck wet. Fuck all the hard drugs, really. Fuck all that shit. But wet for sure. Leave that the fuck alone. Straight up. Leave that wet. You be wet. You'll fuck around and kill somebody. Don't even know you did. Don't even remember that you did it. It's niggas probably that wake up in jail that killed a nigga or something and don't even know what happened. They don't even know they did it. It's like you be spaced the fuck out. Everything seemed like it's you in a cartoon. That's how it used to seem to me. That's why I think you'll probably do like a murder or something, like just like it ain't shit. Like you won't even think about it because everything, it's like when you high on that shit, it feel like everything is like a cartoon or something. You know what I'm saying? I can't really explain, but it feel like everything is like a cartoon. Like the people around you, they cartoons. Everything that's going on, like it's like you in the middle of some type of cartoon or something. Like things ain't real or something. Like it don't feel like it's real. So you'll probably just whack. If you got in that position, when I was high on that shit, I never got in a position where I was in danger like that. But I felt like if I would have been in some position like that, I probably would have just did something violent or something, and not even thought that it was violent. You know what I'm saying? Only because I was fried. I wouldn't even thought that it was violent. That's how high you be, to where like you're not even accountable for nothing that you doing really. Like you like a dead. It's embalming fluid, so it's like you. That's how you feel too. You feel like dead, half like you dead, but you alive still, but almost like a zombie or something. Like a fucking, like if you mix a zombie with Donald Duck. You know what I'm saying? That's wet. That's he mix a Donald Duck zombie. You know what I'm saying? Nah, straight up, man. I'm starting to get a little sick in the stomach even talking about this shit so much right now. Nah, and then the smell is horrific. Oh man, it's so strong and piercing. I don't know why I did that. I did it with my cousin. I was just trying to rock out with my cousin. That's how I got on the wet, hanging around my cousin and shit from Waco. Cause when I came back out here, when I got out of jail, I went over his house. And my cousin and them had, did I even went to jail yet? Yeah, when I got out of jail, I went over my cousin and them house. And my cousin and them, they was selling wet. They had a whole trap, a wet trap. So they was trapping with tough too. I'm talking about hard. The trap was bumping. I'm talking they was trapping. That hoe was bumping. So I went and worked in the trap. I'm working in the trap, answering the door. They done showed me how to dip the sticks and serve niggas and all that. So I'm working at the trap and shit. The wet trap. It was in the Grove, Pleasant Grove. And one day I hit the shit. I was like, let me hit this shit just see what it's talking about. Man, that was the worst mistake I ever made in my life. That shit was hard. That shit there is dangerous. It's like you be an emotional zombie. That's kind of how I can word it. That it makes sense to me. Is when somebody that's on the wit is like an emotional zombie. So it's like they got the emotional drive to like get offended by some shit and fuck a nigga up behind it. But they're a zombie on like not doing that. Like you ain't gonna not do some shit. If somebody play with you or something and you gonna do it. You gonna do it to them. That's why I say it probably be people that be waking up in jail and shit like. But they was high. They probably was high on that shit and just snap. I ain't even gonna call it snapping out because you would be calm doing it. Cause if you be regular, it'd be like I don't know, you ain't got no feelings or something. I almost want to say when you on that shit, you don't have no feelings. Like you emotional. When I say emotional, meaning that you like caught up in your emotions. Not that you showing them or that you gonna express them in it like that. You're not gonna express them like that, but you kind of like in your head, you kind of caught up in them. But if you get up into something, you gonna react like a fucking robot or something. That's how you be when you on. That's why that shit is dangerous. It's probably a gang of motherfuckers wake up in jail that was on that shit and they don't telling what the fuck they did. You know what I'm saying? For real. I don't advise. I think if you doing that, that's damn near worse than crack. You damn near better off smoking crack. That shit was horrible. I hate that little time of my life was horrible. It was short lived though. It was like a few months, maybe some shit like that. It wasn't like it didn't go on for like years or no shit. It was like a few, like maybe like 4-5 months or some shit, like maybe 4-5 months, something like that. And when I think back on that shit, I'm surprised I survived that little era. Because ain't I was running with my kinfolk and them and all they little gangsters and all that, they was wilding. And the Grove, what? And that's back in the game when the Grove was like the Grove. Like it was groving. The Grove was groving. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. It was everybody was trapping over there. They was hitting income tax. They was hitting income tax lead. They was scamming income tax money. I'm talking about like by the 100,000. Like they was getting a lot of income tax money though. Like they was helping the whole hood. The Grove was on some organized. I fuck with the Grove. Back then they was on some organized shit. Back then it was super organized. Like the whole hood was kind of fucking with each other. Like on all of the they were beefing. You know, different little crews to get into beefs and shit. But I'm saying for the most part, the whole hood was fucking with each other and shit. It was dangerous over there though. They was still getting into it each other and then whacking each other though. It was dangerous in the motherfucker over there though. But that's when I went over there, I hit the wet. I was working in the wet trap. I hit the wet, and that shit took on a roller coaster. I mean, you know what I can say though? I made some fire ass beats, cause I was producing. I made beats and shit. So during that when I was on that shit, I made some fire ass beats. I wish I still had them beats and shit. I made some fire ass beats. That's all I used to do, just sit in the trap and serve everybody that come to the door and make beats. That's all I used to do all day. Make beats, serve, you know, when they came to the door, you know. And I used to make my own money too. So I'd have my own product. I think I had some cake. I had some weed and some wet too. I think I got some wet too. So I was making my own money out the trap too. Though. I wasn't just serving they shit. I was making my own little money too. So, I mean, which was kind of the same as serving they shit. Cause I got the shit from them. So, still like I'm still serving they shit, but I was buying my own shit though. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't just in there working the trap. I had my own shit that I had dipped, my own little dip sticks and shit I was selling. So I was making money and I was just making beats and shit. And that was my goal, was to get back to Houston so I could go to Cali. You know what I'm saying? This was all in that same little time frame and shit. Cause I got out of jail. When they caught me, when I was on the run, I came back out here and they caught me. The judge gave me 6 months because I was on the run for 6 months. So she said she gonna give me the same time, the amount of time that I was on the run to get back on, to put my probation back, reinstatement or whatever. But the time was on the weekends. So the time really stretched over like a 2-year period. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't do 6 months all at one time. I kind of wish I had. By the time I finished that 2-year weekend jail shit, I kind of wished I had just did like the 6 months right up front and been done with the shit. Cause I had stretched that weekend jail shit out for it was like 2 years and shit. And I was just going to jail on the weekend, every weekend. Going to jail on the weekend, going to jail on the weekend, that shit sucked. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad in Dallas when I was having to do it because in Dallas it was a 2-day weekend. So you would have to go turn yourself in. I think it was before 6, I want to say. I forgot what time you had to be there. I want to say 6 or something like that. But it was a time, it might not even been 6, it might have been like 8 or 9 or something like that. But you had to be there by a certain time on Friday. And then they'll let you out at midnight. So you was really only there for like 3 hours. They would still give you the credit for Friday and Saturday. But they would let you out Friday at midnight. But they would still give you that credit for Saturday too, so you still get the 2 days. So I had to turn myself in on Friday, and then I would get out at midnight. But I had to do that for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I would forget I had weed on me, all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause they would search you. You had to go through the whole. That's what made it suck so bad. It was like every time you went and turned yourself in, you had to go through the whole little jail process and all that. Not like the whole, everything, but damn near. You know what I'm saying? You had to get searched and all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I used to hate that. And then what I used to do was, I used to get drunk on the way up there. Get drunk, and I pop me some the NyQuil pills or the Tylenol PMs. I pop some of those. I'd have me like a big ass beer or something, and then I'd drink that shit right before I went up there, and then I'd be so goddamn sleepy and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I take me a book. That's back when I was reading the Vampire Chronicles. The Vampire Chronicles is Lestat, Queen of the Damned. That movie that Aaliyah was in, Queen of the Damned, that come from a series of books called The Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. Interview with the Vampires, another movie that they made about the series. I was in there reading that series. You know what I'm saying? So I would go in there, drunk, done popped a bunch of Tylenol PMs and shit, and I would read my book until I fell asleep. And then the motherfuckers would let me out at midnight. You know what I'm saying? So I get let out at midnight, and then they give me the 2 days and shit. So I had 2 days credit. So I had to do that shit for 2 years though. You know what I'm saying? Because I had 6, I was sentenced to 6 months of it. But since it was only on the weekends and it stretched out over like a 2-year period and shit, it was wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, And they would always put me in a tank with a bunch of essays. It was a big wide open tanks. The jail that they had, the weekend jail, it ain't even there no more. They tore that building down. It was a building behind Lusterics. That's where they did the weekend jail at. It ain't even there no more. And I remember on my last day that I had this my last day when I was doing that, they held me in there like for a long time, like for like it was almost like 3 days almost. They held me in this holding tank for like 2.5 days almost. Uh, until they processed me out. I did all my days, 180 days on the weekend. Imagine how many weekends that is to do 180 days. That's a lot. Hey Siri, how many weekends in 180 days?
Here's an answer from convertinits.com.
104 weekend days. So I would have to divide that by
Okay.
2. So that's 52. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Because it's 52 weeks. So yeah. But no, but how come it took me longer than fucking? I wonder why it took me. Did I get some more days or something? Because it took me longer than a year. Because 52 weeks, that's 1 year. It took me longer than a year to do that shit. I know it did. Or maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it didn't. 180 days. 2 days a week. You know what? I think it didn't even take me that long because at first I wasn't even doing the 2 days. I was doing 3 days, 3-day weekends. In a 3-day weekend, they made you stay there all day Saturday, and they let you out midnight on Saturday. On Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I was doing that at first, but then I was always asking, like, how come we be in here, and then the other people get let out and they be gone and shit? How come they get to do that? You know what I'm saying? And I gotta stay in here all Saturday and all that. And I had asked somebody that, and the dude was like, that's cause you got 3-day weekends. They got 2-day weekends. So they come in here and they just get let out at midnight. They only be here for a few hours, that's it. They get 2 days. You got 3 days, so you gotta stay that extra day to get 3 days. I was like, what? I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't even know that, because I didn't know the difference. I didn't know what was going on. That was my first time doing that shit. So what I did was, I had my lawyer holler at the judge and get him to switch my shit to 2 days. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I started just going there. So my shit probably wasn't even 52 weeks because at first I was doing 3 days. And I was doing 3 days for a while. So, hold on, somebody on to buy some shit. I'm just rambling on and shit. You know? Just chopping it up, you know what I'm saying? Man, I ate some good ass shit earlier. I ate a pork chop basket. That shit was good, I ain't even lie. Put the hot sauce on that bitch. I put some hot sauce on that bitch. I put a little sea salt on there. Man, that shit was good. I ain't gonna even lie. This might be the one that sucks, though. Let me see. This the one. No, this ain't that one. Streaming online makes me feel fine. All I wanna do. Smoking weed.
Had a real small waist, I'm sure you would pop that shit all day long. And if your body was T and your ass was fat, you had a real small waist, I'm sure you
Controlling
would
the
pop that
internet.
shit all day long. And if your body was T and your ass was
Cooking with
fat, you
Kaya.
had a real small waist.
Cooking with Kaya. Fine in the motherfucker. Kaya, little young ass. She fine in the motherfucker. I don't really like women. I ain't gonna say I don't like. I don't know if I would date a woman that young. But cooking with Kaya, I probably make an exception. Straight up. She gonna cook you some food, everything. And she know how to cook for real. I be watching that little show. She be cooking. I be watching these twerking videos. I hate when people be like they don't want the women twerking. Shit, I love watching the women twerk. I don't know what the hell y'all be talking about. Y'all sound gay when y'all say that. Oh, okay. I hate when women be twerking. Why? I don't get that. I love when women be twerking. You know what I'm saying? Fuck is you talking about? I think that shit is sexy. Long as they grown and, grown as women. Let them be women. You know what I'm saying? This women like doing all kind of shit like that. Y'all be trying to make the women act like men and shit. Now, if you said nigga twerking, we need to get on his ass. Hey, they wild with these devil videos.
No beating around the bush. Okay. We lost the 2024 election.
Damn. Nigga got stomped the fuck out.
Again, when it comes to these deals,
The DL whisperer.
I am the deal whisperer.
Hey, that dude, he be on their neck. Damn, she got a fat ass. Damn, lady. That's what I'm saying. You mean to tell me y'all don't like this video? So y'all mad at her for being on her twerking. I'm glad she did that. I'm glad she got up this day and was like, you know what? I'm finna make a video. Shaking my ass. I'm glad she was thinking that. Y'all mad at her and shit. Damn, this nigga getting... I'm talking about beat the dog shit out this nigga. He tackled him. What? Look at this lady. This fat ass butt. She twerking. And y'all don't like that. Y'all be like, I can't believe these women is twerking. I think it's awesome. Now, you know what I don't like? When a woman be dancing for real. Like, when she really thinks she can dance, she really be doing, like, dance moves and stuff. I hate that. I don't want to see you do no dance moves and shit. We don't care you know how to do the cabbage patch. Or you know how to break dance or whatever. We don't want to see that. That wasn't no second part though. He just got off her.